Welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You with Tammy Nicole, the podcast dedicated to you loving and putting yourself first. Others have come first in your life for years, and you know it's time for that to change. You're about to be empowered to set healthy boundaries, confidently have hard conversations, unapologetically put yourself first, and live the peaceful life you deserve. Remember, self-love is essential, and loving yourself sets the stage for every other love in your life. So get ready to embrace self-love like never before with your host, Coach Tammy Nicole.
Hey, welcome back to Transformation Tuesdays over at Loving Me Before I Love You. I got a question. Have you ever noticed how some pain doesn't scream, it whispers? It shows up in a way you overextended just to feel. You are in a space that you tolerate what you know you didn't deserve. You're in a way you crave love, but don't quite know how to sit in it when it's real. See, nobody really sits with us and sit us down and say, hey, the relationship you had or didn't have with your father isn't going to shape you on how you see yourself, how you see love, and what you believe you're worthy of. So we grow up calling it strength, calling it independence, calling it, I don't need nobody. But underneath that, there's a little boy still asking, why wasn't I enough to be loved right? And that question, it doesn't just disappear. It becomes patterns. It becomes choices. It becomes silence. So today, we're going there. Not to blame, not to stay stuck, not to finally give a name to the hurt we've been carrying in the quiet. Hi, I'm Coach Tammy Nicole. I help women reclaim their voice, their worth, and their power so that they can stand in clarity, confidence, and courage. And today, we're having a real conversation. As you know, I have dedicated the month of June to men, not just to be about men, but because men matter. And I want you to know that this is about boys that they once were. This episode is called The Father Wound, Healing the Unspoken Hurt. And I'm sitting down with Jarratt DAMN as we unpack the truth behind emotional silence, generational conditioning, and what it really takes for men to heal their father wounds. And this is Loving Me Before I Love You. Welcome to the show, Jarratt.
Thank you for having me. Wow, I love that intro. That was a great intro. Hey, okay.
You said, okay. Let's talk about it. We don't talk about it, right? I think a lot of times when we bring the subject up of like father wounds, we tend to look at women.
Mm-hmm.
We look at them and we say, "Ooh, you got daddy issues."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we never look at the man and say, "Ooh, you got daddy issues."
Mm-hmm.
Because we assume all of his issues come from his mama because daddy wasn't there.
That's true. Yeah, because it's always the women have daddy issues and men are mama's boys. Yeah. We never look at the same sex of that. That's true. That's so true. Yeah. Now I got a slew of issues from both my mama and my daddy.
Well, I think all of us do, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we all do for a vast various of reasons, right? So my very first book I published was called I Married My Father, Understanding How DNA Plays a Part in Choosing the Right Mate.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, I looked at how your dad's presence or absence affects how you choose in partnership.
100%.
Right? You also discover that he doesn't have to be there, or he can be there whole heavily and hard but it's the piece that he delivered inside of you, that the DNA that really makes the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that results back to men, to boys and men too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gives you your blueprint, your foundation, your everything, right? But we tend to think that knowing him is what matters versus getting to know ourselves. That gives you the piece of him that really matters.
Yeah. I think I spent most of my life. My dad passed away in 2022, but we had a very tumultuous relationship, to say the least. And I think he started out being like that was that dude for me. It was like it was like my dad. It was like Hulk Hogan. I'm wrong for 0 for 2 on those, but it was like these big people in my life and everything, and for a while I idolized them, and then it got to a point where I started noticing trends, and I started not being able to just pass, let some of the stuff go that he was doing. One thing that I always think about every time I hear this song, it's a Drake song, 0 to 100, and towards the end, where he says, "Since my dad didn't come to the house to get me, he ain't show up. A valuable lesson, man. I had to grow up. That's why I never ask for help. I'll do it for y'all, and I'll do it for myself." And I was on that porch, like waiting on Friday nights, waiting for him to come pick me up. And he had other stuff to do. He didn't call or anything. And it was stuff like that just kind of carried over year after year. And when you talk about how it leaves a mark, and it can go from one extreme to another. So either you're that guy that's going to do the same thing to your kids and do the same thing with women, because he probably was on a date with a woman. But so you're probably doing that, or you're gonna do the complete opposite, which is what I did. I became that ultra people
over involved.
Let me make sure. I don't have a presence in my own life. I'm gonna sacrifice all my other stuff because I don't want to look like my dad for any reason. And it's emotionally crippled me the other way around. So I'm now being in my 40s, I'm just now starting to realize and trying to make a U-turn now, but it's a hard road to hoe.
I 100% understand. 100%, because that's really the two things that we either do. We either run towards being exactly like they were, giving the excuse of they did it, I can too, or you run away from it saying I would never.
Yeah.
And you overextend doing it the opposite way versus looking within and just doing it your way.
Yeah. Which makes more sense anyway. You know what I mean? But it was, I over course correct so much to the point where anytime somebody, and I'm spitting the image of them. So anytime I'm like, oh, that's Lil Larry right there. Don't do that. No, I stone face. I'm mad. I'm don't you call me that? Like I was literally reacting that way because I did not want to be seen like that, because I was trying so hard not to be, because I remember that hurt. I remember that hurt that was caused every time.
Yeah, he was trying to disassociate. You thought the separation would bring you peace.
Yeah.
But the reality is
it did not.
Not only did it not do it, it also doesn't change anything, right? Like you cannot change your DNA. All you can do is change your behaviors, your perception, handle your triggers when it comes to being triggered by it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think about my relationship with my dad. As a woman, having a relationship with a father who you look like, oh, that's little Ed. And you want to say, where is little Ed? Like, where is he? Right? But having those moments where because the issue is not that you look like them. The issue is that you look like someone you idolized or admired who never chose you, who never picked you, who never said, yes
Yeah.
to everything about you.
Yeah.
Who always said yes and picked themselves and used you as convenience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why do I want to look like them? Why do I even want to resemble them?
Yeah.
When they didn't pick me.
Yeah. And then add to that, not only am I looking like them, I even like this hand motion, I just saw myself do. I'm like, oh, it's just like them.
Mannerisms.
Like the mannerisms, how I talk,
DNA
how I
is
smile,
real.
the way I smile, and these eyes just go like this. all of that. Me and my siblings, we all doing the same thing. So like when I'm literally trying to course correct and think about that in my head, and then constantly having reminders because my mom is like, you acting just like your daddy right now. I'm like, no, mama, please, mama, no, don't tell me that, mama. So it's not. So when you hear it, you hear it when what they're seeing and the mannerisms and everything. You tend to think like it literally made me think like if I keep doing certain things, I'm gonna fall to the dark side like I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm like, okay, this guy's Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like I can't fall to the dark side. I must be a Jedi. Like that was just the mindset. And you're right. It's like just your own actions and just how you do different things. And it's it's gonna tell the story, but not just over course corrected, not just saying that I can do it.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I don't know why it took so long for me to understand that.
Well, I think, and this is, my own theory and method, I think that it takes a lot of us a long time to get out of it because we weren't taught to just embrace ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if you're not taught to love you, if you're not taught to get to know you, all you have is the identity of the people that created you.
Yeah.
And you are, everybody is looking at, am I going to become this person who I'm supposed to be looking up to? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we do on the regular basis when you think about it, right? Like you want to strive to be like somebody you love, right? That's what we do across the board. Who's your admirer? Who do you admire? Who's your model? Who's your person you want to be like? I want to be like Mike. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be like Kobe. I want to be like everybody wants to be like somebody instead of just be yourself, because can't nobody beat you doing it.
Yeah.
And getting to know who you are. Like there are pieces of your dad that you should embrace. Not because of the behavior he did, but the character pieces that lie in you that he may have never perfected.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me it's fatherhood, and not saying that he was a horrible dad. Like when he was there, he was there. It was great. But for me, our fallout started happening when I started seeing what he was doing to my sisters. And I'm like the second oldest out of 5. So the rest of them, below me are ladies. And the fact that how he would ignore them or how he wouldn't really kind of deal with us until we were at least 12. That way you can be self-sufficient on your own and everything. And if I want to go out and just do a little something, like, you at home by yourself, it's all good. But it was the fact that I saw what that angered me so much, and the turning point happened in 2008. That's when I had my daughter, and so I'm over here in a hospital crying because my daughter is having acid reflux and she's doing this little thing, and I'm like, please, nurse, help! And so I'm thinking in my mind, how am I this emotional about somebody I've known less than a day?
5 seconds. Yeah.
Like a cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've had some years with these ladies, and you don't give up. You don't give a rat's ass. You just kind of just you in it for yourself. And the only time that you're really like showing us or talking about us, you'll pull pictures off of Facebook and show, hey, these are my kids. I didn't even know you had that picture of me. Like, you know what I mean? But just to brag on that, and that's what made it so heartbreaking. Like, wait, this is a dude I put a lot of trust and so did my sisters, who, quite frankly, going back to what you said about we marry our dads, they have had not the easiest relationships because of who their dad is.
Yeah, but it's really because of who they didn't seek to understand for themselves. Mm-hmm. So all of it goes back to you if you want the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, the DNA is the characteristics, not the behaviors.
Right.
So he gave you something you needed to be you. It's acknowledging what that is, saying thank you for it, and utilizing it and perfecting it for you, mm-hmm. and how you're supposed to operate out of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when it comes to parents, we should give them a little grace because they only know what they know.
True.
They can only teach you what they know.
That's really true.
Are they teaching you through the behaviors? Absolutely. However, you would have to really look back into their past to see what did they learn, mm-hmm. themselves, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And the same opportunity that you had in referencing to be like them or be total opposite, they had too when it comes mm-hmm. to their own parenting and their own upbringing.
Yeah.
There are things in their lives that they said they didn't like either. And they made a choice, be more like it or run the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And the thing that could have made them go, let's just say he was smothered as a boy. Let's just say his parents always up under him, nagging or being in his space. He didn't like it. He mm-hmm. chose, I'm going to be opposite.
Yeah.
And that opposite led to not being present.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. And I think you're right. I think since he passed, I've been looking at things differently, and I have extended grace, which is probably why I'm able to talk about it a little bit more easily, and I don't talk about it in this sense of anger. Mm-hmm. And I think looking back at it, especially when I took the initiative to try to start looking at my family tree. Mm. Now I heard stories before, but then I realized that my dad's mom and dad, like his biological dad was he was a product out of wedlock. And so like, long story less long, like my grandfather was away, grandma, they have TV then, they have cable, you know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. so it was just things like that happened, and he was a product of that. And so when you come back in rural South Louisiana, in the South in Louisiana, and you're there, and you Creole and light skin, your Paw, mm-hmm. dark skin, he come home, who is this baby? And so right. Sometimes Paw will be a little nice to him. Sometimes Paw will be like, you were a reminder of when she stepped away. And so having that hard upbringing, not having someone that really to show consistent love. Mm-hmm. Now Papa loved me as a grandchild, but I'm Jarratt DAMN Butler. What can you say? But
but it's different because you also are not his in a way that said you're a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And, like at that point, he's embracing grandparenthood. You know what I mean?
Grandparents different from that's a way different.
100% different.
Yeah.
So you be looking at them like where you came from,
right? How you? Because my mom with my daughter is like, for real? Because you would get an extension cord for me. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Part.
But that's what my dad had to deal with, growing up. And he was this awkward guy, nerdy. Here I am. He was an awkward guy and nerdy, didn't really know how to act in everything. And so he ended up becoming a chemist, getting a little bit of money. People started liking him, and he was like, oh, all right, cool. Like
newfound fame. This is what it is.
Yeah, and that's what shaped him. That's his village in the origin story. You know what I mean? So when you look at it like that, you're like, he ain't have a chance.
And then
this
you
is what
say,
it was for him.
How can I hold him in captivity because it's different from holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That's captivity
Mm-hmm.
and bondage, that you put him in a cage that says you aren't worthy of the forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I felt this way.
Yeah.
Because I experienced this. And I think that we, as grown adults, have to take a step back and say, you know what? They did what they could. They did what they understood. They did everything that technically we're doing based upon what? Our upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And making the choice of what I say, the two evils, whichever is lesser in your world. Do I run towards what they did or run away from it?
Right. And
then when you get that wound and you start unpacking it.
Yeah. And we have something that they don't have. You know, I mean, we have therapy. We have reflection. We have, empathy towards ourselves, giving other people grace. All these terms that are now commonplace for us. Like that wasn't invented then. So it was just like, boy, get over it. And that's therapy. Go to church, get over it. That's it.
Yeah.
There was nothing in between. And so you can go to church and you can get the word and everything, but it didn't teach you how to, if they're not talking to you to help you navigate through that,
mm-hmm.
you got on your own devices on that one. So yeah.
Facts. And unpacking it allows you to see yourself also in the process and in the circumstance. Like, because as much as you overextend, that can also be damaging to your kids.
Yeah.
Just from a different perspective.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
So in my initial book, I talk about the dad that does it all.
Mm-hmm.
Some like there's 12 different women that have different perspectives of their fathers in their lives. So there's one that's just like, my daddy is my everything. I'm the princess.
Mm-hmm.
And she still can't find a man because she's taking that man and comparing him to her dad 24/7. Or she's dating that guy and something goes wrong in her world. And instead of calling the guy that she's dating, oh, my daddy will handle that.
Yeah.
Oh, my daddy will take care of that.
Yeah.
Or my daddy don't do it like that. And you as a grown man right now know that if you ever dated or been with a woman and she said her daddy can do everything, the very next thing out your mouth is, go let him do it. And I'm out.
Hey, hope you're feeling the love in today's episode. We'll pick back up where we left off in a moment. First, we're excited to share that Tammy has a collection of self-love t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and journals for you to express how much you love yourself to the world. From comfy hoodies to motivational mugs, there's something for everyone. While you're listening to today's show, feel free to browse the full collection at IamTammyNicole.com. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get back into today's show.
I'm laughing because it's true, though. It's true.
Go let him do it. Go let him do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm out. Right? So as much as you think, well, my daddy didn't do enough for my sisters, there'll be nothing I won't do for my daughters because I never want them to have that feeling. You also could be creating.
Oh, you're right. I didn't create a monster. I didn't create a monster. Yeah,
I'm sure.
So
but how do you correct it? I'm sure she's 18 now or about to be 18.
Just turned 18.
Graduating high school.
Yeah. Yep.
And you said 2008, my son 2009. That's how I know because I'm right there.
Yep.
So how do you course correct before she enters in that world and have the worst experiences relationally that you never want her to have?
I think this first of all, that's a great question. And I've been thinking about that too, because I think I knew about halfway in I'm like, oh, you have over course corrected. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can, I can just the reflection of seeing it. The point that I was trying to do was just to show that I was available, to show I was there, and to know that no matter what happens, Dad always has her back. But I think as she's gotten older, the way I've course corrected is with just playing out communication, because I want to be her Superman. I want to be her superhero. I want to be like, baby, I got it. But last few years, baby, Daddy ain't got it. Like I know you want this random money to put in your gas tank. I know you want to, baby, Daddy ain't got it. Daddy had to pay this car note that was behind. So so Daddy can get you on Friday on some other stuff, and or having like real life conversations. This is what's going on. Or even when me and her mom is not seeing eye to eye. I mean, look, I know your mom. I know from our vantage point, I know your mom is tripping. This is her perspective on things. So it's trying to open things up more than just, oh, don't worry about it, baby. Daddy take care of it. And I think it's because I've shown that I'm not a superhero, which it hurts me to say that, but because I've shown that I'm actually human, I think it's opened her mind up to like, okay, people are human. My dad if my dad
fall short,
he have my back, but if he ain't got it, he's at least prepared me with our talks and everything that I can do it for myself.
Mm-hmm. So allowing her to kind of pick up her own battle by herself, you think from that perspective that it would allow her to not just call on you when she's in the need. That's good.
Now she's still calling me on because I just have random knowledge. Like the other day she called me, hey, where can I go? Where can I go to the ATM machine at? What? So we still working the kinks out on sodas. We still doing that.
Yeah. Has she started dating?
She has. I think between my co-parent and my now ex-wife, two separate people, but we all involved in her life. I think I am the one that she probably will talk to the most about it, which is weird because I'm the dad. But
no, it's not weird.
Really, because I just knew.
So that's my point.
I was gonna be that guy to be like, who dating my daughter? But she'll talk to me more about it.
But that's my point, because you are, as much as you don't want to be the superhero, you are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So navigating the conversation around allowing her boyfriend to be the star of her show is important, because if she still thinks Daddy is the star of the show,
oh yeah,
and the boyfriend is just the castmate,
yeah, I don't got to worry about that. I think at this point she feels like she's the star of the show, and we all castmates. Whether it's who she dating, the parents, everything. So,
she's in that space.
Oh yeah. She's something else. But
and you put her there. But
yeah. It takes a village. It takes a village. No, I think we all did though. Honestly, I think we really all did. But yeah, I have a big percentage on it. I'm going to own that. I'm going accountability. That's what we're here for, accountability. So I'm going to own a big percentage of that.
I love that you decided to own it. But again, I still think that the father wound that you experience led you to a space that you could be creating father wounds you don't even realize are being formulated. Because the day that you have to say, go talk to him about that, he's going to feel abandoned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most definitely so. But I think what's kind of helped a little bit Two, again, sharing and over, like, kind of communicating, my thoughts and my past. I've talked to her like multiple times about my father wound. And I think that's important. I think usually as parents we hold in that stuff that we had, that we faced, in our past, and we don't share it with them, and so they don't know our feelings. I can never know how hurt my dad was growing up with Paw not, having that up and down, because we never talked about that.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out that villain origin story after he died, just being introspective. But my daughter won't have to have that conversation in her mind, because we've had that conversation. She knows the struggle. She knows some of the history. She knows some of the stories. Even as we were preparing for the memorial service, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we're trying to get a sense for you to know who your grandfather was, even though you only seen him about 2 or 3 times in your life. So it was important for me, and it's still important for me, to tell her what has shaped me as an individual, whether it's my father wounds, whether it's my struggles with depression and anxiety, hell, even my struggles with diabetes. It's important for me to tell her these things that I am facing, so she can get that overall aspect of what her father really is, and not this superhero she might have just drawn in. So
you're still going to be superhero.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't even think it's about erasing the thoughts or the image of being a superhero. Because if you think about superheroes, they're not perfect.
Not at all.
They don't win every battle.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't take their superheroism away.
True. That's a good point. Yeah. I think this little perfection
that
thing
hit a little different.
Yeah, because I always want to try to win, and so I'm like, oh no, baby, I got it for you. But I remember the times that I told her I couldn't do something. Just thinking about it made me think about the times my dad let me down. Like it was that same trigger. Feeling from on the other side.
It was a trigger.
It was hard, and so I think she took it. She took it. No, she definitely took it better than I took it. Like, she was like, "Okay, Dad, well, I understand." Meanwhile, I got to phone her. I'm like, "Oh,"
because you made a promise to yourself that you would never not be able to be there.
Yeah.
And the perspective of not being able to do something equated to not being there. And presence and presence is 2 different things.
Yeah. No.
So you were never not there for her.
Yeah, but not in the way that I wanted it to be.
You didn't supply something she requested.
It could be simple as, like, it was one time, I think she was around 9 or 10, and I was supposed to. She lives in Dallas, Texas, and I was supposed to. And I'm in the Atlanta metro area, so I was supposed to.
Oh, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, girl? But I was supposed to drive to Dallas, and I was trying to figure it out. I got sick. I ended up getting the flu. Like if it was like some sniffles, let's just take some Dayquil. We gonna keep pushing. I had the flu, and I was so weak, and I was still trying to get up and make the ride, because I had told her, there's something that me and her my co-parent talked about. If you say you coming, because it was me on that porch again. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I'm going to be there. And it literally took her saying, "Dad, you have the flu. You got to drive 12 hours to get here, and then you're going to get here, and then you might get me sick." I was like, "I don't want to get you sick. Lay down and rest." I was like, "Okay." And I remember getting off the phone crying because I couldn't do it. Like, that hurt me, because I just kept thinking about that.
You promised yourself
boy on the porch. Yeah.
It wasn't that you promised her; it was that you promised yourself
to
never, ever have an experience or provide that level of experience to your seed.
Yeah. 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 It still hit me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to be there for her. I just want her to be happy. And some of these things that, you know, I dealt with and what caused me to spiral on how I ended up, which I don't think is bad. It's just, I just don't want that pain and misery for her. And I think about that all the time.
But pain produces what?
You're going to learn lessons from pain. You're going to be better because of the pain.
Yeah.
But
It conflict, pain, those things are what create the strength and change in people. When you have conflict in relationships, you should get closer together. You know, that's where the growth happens.
Yeah.
You grow through pain. You grow through conflict if you do it in a healthy way, right? No one is ever perfect. So being able to accept I have imperfections, and though I may want to do certain things in a certain way, life sometimes intervenes and says, nope, we can't do it that way.
Yeah.
Not today. But it doesn't change the intent. It doesn't change the person of who they are. Your word may have changed, but it wasn't voided. Why? Because something had to change. I got sick doesn't mean I didn't want to come.
Right.
It means I am unable to come.
Yeah.
You didn't do what your dad did because your dad didn't have communication that says I'm not showing up. He just didn't show.
True. You're right.
So it was a different experience. You didn't cause her pain. She may have been slightly disappointed because she was anticipating, but she also has to learn to have care and consideration. So she learned, I got to put somebody else before me, and my wants and desires cannot be as prevalent in the moment because somebody else needs me to be concerned about them.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I feel like it was more of a lesson that I learned than she learned. You know, yeah. Like I said, she was way more accepting of it, and you know, I needed to continuously learn those lessons on stuff. To your point, which I was unable to do versus didn't want to do.
Yeah,
and
or refused to do.
Yeah,
or walked away without trying.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
perception is everything. All you focused on was I said and it didn't. I said and I didn't. The in between, you didn't apply it for the weight shift.
Yeah.
But that's a part of unpacking.
Yeah,
right?
That's a part of unpacking. Yeah, we growing. We growing. Every day, 1% better every day.
Hey, that's a part of unpacking. And that's what we have to do if we really want to look at our father wounds and say, one, give them grace, but two, how did it make me a better person? Period.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I mean, I think that wound, I think it made me a better father because, you know, it's not just trying to be a superhero. It's just that I want to talk to her, that I want to listen to her. Like, so if she wants to sit there and talk to me about the high school drama that's going on and her friends, I'm listening and I'm remembering details. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this friend, because both of y'all Tauruses, you know, y'all born, you know, she a
y'all fire bulls.
Yeah, so or you want to sit there and talk about your hair or your nails. You know, she'll sit there with the camera, have the vanity mirror, and be doing the mirror, and they talk about the, you know, all the stuff,
the makeup.
I'm like looking, and you know, it's those little small things. It's those little small things that I want her to know that I got her back. It's good to be there for the big stuff, but I the everyday things. That from when you were 3 years old, we played hide and go seek on Zoom, or that when you were 10, you wanted to put makeup on dad and have him go out to dinner and meet his siblings, new significant others. Sure, ain't gonna bother me. I can watch it all. So it's little things like that I want to stick with her and everything, and I want to show up for the everyday stuff. So that makes me smile, knowing that wound got me here,
and it's good. And I think a great exercise for you is to ask her not just what she remembers, but what kind of father have I been to you?
That's scary. Why is that scary? You know what I mean? Why is that scary?
It's scary because you created the narrative and you hope you wrote the story and lived it the way you designed it, but you're not sure if that's really how it played out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be like, "Oh, Dad, you suck."
But
I don't think that. But just asking that question is like,
I think now that she's 18, graduating high school, it would be perfect timing.
Yeah.
To have one of those father-daughter moments and just ask the question. I think it will be a part of healing your father wound too.
Yeah, because I didn't want to have kids because of my father.
Because of that,
I didn't. I was like,
and then when you became one, you was like, "But I got to do it right. I got to do it great.
Yeah,
I got to do it."
I was like, "Oh wait, did you? Oh no!"
Yeah.
So I didn't want kids for so long, and yeah. So now it's just like to be able to ask that question, we're like,
and she's your first. And now we full circle. We done, right? Not that fatherhood ever ends.
Right.
But the responsibility of being a dad has now reached its pivotal point of somewhat conclusion.
Yeah.
Right? Like she is officially an adult. And asking that question would really fulfill your father wound.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
And the reason it does it is because it brings it full circle.
Yeah.
It brings it full circle. And you'll be able to kind of like know, outside of the fact that you're not perfect and you didn't do everything 100% right, the very things that you thought you did right may have been done wrong, and the very things you did wrong from your perspective may have been done 100% right from hers.
Yeah.
But it's going to show you that your perception is not the one that really matters.
That part. That's really what it's about. It's not about, and I think because I've tried so hard to be this dad because of my father wound, everybody, people are like, friends, family, my mom, Jerry, you're such a great dad. I don't want to hear that, because I guess in my mind I think I don't want to get complacent on this father thing. It's a blessing that she is my daughter. I literally feel it. She saved my life. I think I put that on her birthday. About to have me tear up, but she saved my life in so many ways. In real life, like there was a time, it was a dark time, and so for me I just want to give her the very best, and I don't want to be complacent with it. And it's a responsibility that I have. And even sometimes you're a little tired. All right. You call me at 1:30 because you doing your baking business, and you want me to help you with price points on these cupcakes. Sure, let's do some research. It's things like that. But yeah, you're right. To hear that answer Yeah, it's exhilarating. It's scary. It's like you said. It's probably necessary.
Mm-hmm. At 100%, I guarantee it.
Okay. All right. I got homework. I'm
He like, I didn't come here for that.
No.
My bad.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just
my bad.
I'm gonna snap it off. I'm gonna go there and see her next month. So
it's graduation time. It would be it'll be full circle. I think we have these wounds, and as much as we acknowledge them in a space of either one trying to fix or heal them, or the other one is victimize them and use them as a crutch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm this way because.
Yeah.
Well, I got daddy issues, or my mama didn't love me.
Yeah.
Or, I've been living this life by myself since I was 15. Or, all of the different things that we can say to victimize our circumstances. Healing the wound and being able to take accountability. So it's like they got you here. They did the things that they did, but it's your responsibility to take you where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is not their responsibility to fix it.
I like that you said that. Acknowledgement and accountability are two different things. Mm-hmm. And I think people hide behind that where they like, well, yeah, I got daddy issues. Let's take that one. I got daddy issues because I've heard that a lot. Well, I got daddy issues. Okay, but what are you actively doing to do it, to fix it? What are you actually doing to change your life? Don't just acknowledge it and be that's what it is, because I have so many friends that do that, and I asked that one question. So what are you doing right now to actually work on it? Well, I mean, I've been to therapy, and you've been to therapy, or you going to therapy right now? Are you doing what the therapist has told you to do, or you just kind of remembering the conversations y'all had 2-3 years back? Because that's a whole big different thing. Acknowledging and accountability, two different things.
Yeah. It's your responsibility to heal. It's not. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate that the experience is what it was, but I'm a firm believer that our experiences create us to be who we are. They're necessary, and we should be grateful for them, no matter how good, bad, ugly, or amazing they were. They shaped you. They gave you a glimpse into experiences and lessons. And if you want something different, you do something different based upon who you are. Our wounds are created from people who were unhealed themselves. You give them grace. You forgive them. You pick up your pieces. You put them back together. You learn yourself. And you operate according to who you are. Period.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Period. Like that's the goal. The goal is to understand ourselves, not live up to the people who created us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real. Oh, that hit right there. Yeah, that hit. Yeah. Because I chased it for like such a long time. Mm-hmm. His approval.
Mm-hmm.
I never could get it.
Yeah. Approve yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Approve yourself. Like, parents are here to guide us to become adults. They're not here to technically make us into clones of themselves.
Right.
But because we're not taught how to parent, you don't get parenting classes before you become a parent. They may try to sex education on you. They may try, but you don't even really get that, right?
Yeah.
That's the one thing you can become with no rules.
Yeah. And you need the owner's manual.
but the only rule you have is what you've experienced.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And the reality is we're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to figure out who we are. the very thing that we like or know about us is what somebody else told us.
Mm-hmm.
You think as kids, you grow up and they say, you this, you like this, you always over here doing this, you're gonna be this, you can't be that. You know, those are their perceptions.
Yeah.
And that's anything from what you go to school for in college to, you know, what you do from a spiritual perspective to, like, everything is just thrown at you and fed to you. You're never really taking the time to introspect and decide who I am, what I like, what I desire, you know, the things that I want to do for me. And that's why we become people pleasers and we chase the approval of other people all the time.
All the time.
And the only a person that needs to approve you, affirm you, is you.
That's real. That's real.
So, if you were to tell the men one message that says, this is my father wound and how I unpacked it. If you have one, this is what you should do. What would that be?
Oh, okay.
Yep, I did that.
Okay. My father wound was my dad not actively being present and not actively showing that he cared and not actively being in my life and or my siblings' life. I feel like if you're suffering with father wounds, you acknowledge the past, you don't dwell in it, you don't stay there. You acknowledge what they did, give them grace, knowing that their past may have been not easy. You think about how you can move forward, take some accountability in that regard, and don't repeat the cycle. Don't create victims either. Live and be sure of yourself and know that you are loved, but love you first. Sometimes it takes a little longer to do that when you have those wounds, because you're either filling the space with doing the things that your dad did in his life, or you're doing a complete 180 and you're not taking care of yourself. But focus on your wounds to heal them. If you got a cut on your arm, you don't pour salt on it. And if you have a cut on your arm, you just don't ignore it either. You clean it, you acknowledge that it's there, you bandage it, and then you need that time for it to actually heal.
Absolutely. And healing does not mean the scar does not exist. Use the scar as a reminder, not as an excuse.
I like that.
Jarratt DAMN, it's been a pleasure.
The pleasure's been all mine.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Men, you require therapy. You require healing. And healing is not a destination. It is a journey. Remember, love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus. And self-love is the blueprint. If you desire coaching, men, I don't coach men. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I do have a coach for you. So send me a message and I promise you he's the best coach you'll ever have. He's a masculinity coach and a relationship coach. He goes by the Louis V. But ladies, if you want to get clarity, if you want to have confidence and courage, hit me up at coaching@IamTammyNicole.com. I would love to help you understand and unpack your own father wounds, because a lot of us women have them too. Again, Jarratt, thanks for joining us. It is Transformation Tuesday. Transform your life. And remember to love yourself first. Have a good one.
That's a wrap on another episode of Loving Me Before I Love You. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to show your support by subscribing and leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Stay connected with Tammy. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and TikTok at Coach Tammy Nicole. If you like to work with Tammy or have any questions you'd like her to answer, please head over to www.IamTammyNicole.com. Until next time, always remember to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus.